Hello. Thank you so much for being here again this wonderful afternoon. And I am in the wonderful California, my birth home. Anyways, come here a little bit closer. So I'm a major star. I call you guys the All Stars. If you're here for the first time, you're in for an amazing treat. This particular series is going to be a 5-day series, basically putting a spotlight on the benefits of best friends. Now, where do I begin? Best friend breakups can be just as painful, if not more, than romantic ones. Whether it's a heated argument or a slow growing distance, losing a best friend can leave you feeling confused, hurt, and lost. In this video, we're going to explore what happens when you and your best friend fight or break up, and the emotional impact that has on your mental health, your regular health, and your lifestyle choices. We're going to also talk about some of the common reasons why best friends even fall out to begin with. And we're going to talk about how to reconcile and maybe even shed a little bit of light on when to know when to reconcile and when to let it go. All right? So, without further ado, runners, take your mark. Set, go. Let's go. All right, you guys. As always, I'm a major star. I'm a sociology major. Oh my goodness, I basically develop my own statistics, do my own research, and then I give all that information and I throw it to you guys, all right? And whether it's your very first time or you've been a recurring all-star, please, welcome, welcome, welcome. As an Olympic hopeful, the forever Olympic hopeful, I basically liken everything to a sprint. My favorite sport in the whole world, track and field. So you'll hear me saying on your mark, in the blocks, get set, and go. That's my little insignia. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, so anyways, without further ado, let's get into this, okay? All right, I'm excited. You excited? We good? We good? All right. So, what you're going to learn today is the psychological effects of losing a best friend, tips on handling post-fight anxiety or regret, and strategies for rebuilding trust or accepting closure. Now, studies reveal that losing a close friendship can cause emotional distress comparable to romantic breakups. Just imagine that. Don't sleep on the best friend power. Like, it hurt. It hurt really bad, okay? And let me see. I'm sorry about this glare. It's like kind of bad. Let's see if I can get it a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Just work with me. Stay with me. Work with me. All right. I know. I love it. Okay. So anyway, let's get into a little bit of quotes. Friendship is delicate as a glass. Once broken, it can be fixed, but there will always be cracks, and probably cracks that you can see and feel. All right? And the title for today's episode is going to be When Best Friends Fight, How to Heal or Move On. All right? Have you ever had a falling out with one of your best friends and it just felt like you lost a part of yourself? I'm going through that right now. Yep, I am. And it's very painful. And I'm trying to deal with it. And I just said, you know what? What's better than me just sitting here holding all these emotions inside of myself? I was like, how about I make this one of my episodes and dive deep into it, and I'm going through it with you. So if you're going through a friendship breakup, yeah, welcome. You're not alone. I'm here with you. I'm here to do the research and to empower and see how we're going to get through this together. We're running the same race, just different lanes, okay? All right, we're in this together. So one of the things I want to talk about is common reasons that you might break up with one of your best friends. Sometimes it's communication, betrayal, lifestyle changes, or jealousy. In my situation, I wonder. Like, I don't want to be precocious and say, oh, it's jealousy. I don't know. We've been friends for a long time. Life changes, lifestyle changes, that's possible. Betrayal, that's possible. Miscommunication, all possible. When we talk about the emotional triggers and the psychological impact, oh, it's definitely impacted me. I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to pull it into the research for you guys. But psychological impact, yes, it's impacted me. I've been friends with them for years, over 20 years, and it hurts when you have to think to yourself that maybe, just maybe, you know, the friendship is not going to be able to be repaired, and that impact, the thought of even thinking that I'm not going to have them as my friends anymore, is very hurtful. And if you're out there and you're going through the same thing and been through the same thing, yep, doesn't feel good at all. Briefly, I just want to talk about friendship fallouts, okay? So, the emotional aftermath, the emotional toll that it takes, grief, anger, and confusion. So, when you lose anything, just like a friend, it mimics the romantic relationship. So, that means it goes through the 5 stages of grief. We'll get into that a little bit later. Anger, yep, I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I am confused. Not sure exactly what happened or why. And then how it can affect self-esteem and trust in others. Well, yeah, definitely it's affected my trust, because I feel like, do I really want to give all that trust again to maybe a new friend? And it might have the same potential to have the same type of ending result. So, you have all these different things going on in your mind, and that's totally normal if you're out there and you're going through this. Okay? We're going to get into a few quotes in a little bit. I'm also going to talk about signs that the friendship is worth saving, tips for rebuilding trust, honesty, communication, and setting some new healthy boundaries, which I have set some new healthy boundaries so that when I do get another friend, I can avoid some of the pitfalls that landed me in the situation today. All right. I'm also thinking about when to let go. Should I let go? Should I try to rekindle? And later on, maybe we'll discuss, what I'm leaning towards and why. I want to encourage you guys to share a comment below. If you're going through a friendship breakup, please let me know. I'd love to be able to correspond back and forth and have that thing in common. Okay. One other thing. Let's talk about the. Let's see. I'll put this in just really quick. I don't want any background noise, so let me just put these in. Okay, so I know it's a hot mess right here. Don't worry about that. All right, without further ado, let's talk about some of the psychological damage of losing a best friend, just really quickly, okay? Losing a best friend can emotionally be devastating, and it is, sometimes even more than the end of a romantic relationship. Yeah. Best friends often provide emotional stability, validation, and companionship, which makes their absence deeply impactful. Here's how the loss can affect your psychological well-being. Listen up. Number 1, emotional grief and heartbreak. The end of a close friendship can trigger grief responses similar to mourning a death of a loved one. Symptoms: sadness, crying spells, and difficulty focusing. What I've been experiencing is difficulty focusing. Yeah, it hurt. So why does this happen? Friendships play a huge role in emotional regulation. So losing that bond disrupts your support system, believe it or not. According to psychologist Dr. Irene S. Levine, when a friendship ends, you experience the loss of the shared memories, routines, and emotional safety net. Number 2, increased risk of depression and anxiety. I definitely feel more anxious since I've been going through this than I was previously. And research shows that losing a close friendship can significantly increase the risk of depression and anxiety. Why would that be? Well, the emotional void left behind can lead to all types of feelings of isolation, self-doubt, and worthlessness. Now, I do feel isolated without my friends. I do. I feel like I'm kind of like compromised, like all of a sudden my world was this big, and now it feels like it's like this big. Even though we know that the distance hasn't changed or proximity, but it can just make you feel like that, and your feelings are valid. Here's a statistic. According to a study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, individuals who experienced friendship loss reported higher levels of emotional distress. and lower self-esteem compared to those who ended romantic relationships. So you see the difference between romantic relationships and the effect of losing a best friend? It's detrimental. It's detrimental. Number 3, feelings of betrayal and trust issues. If the friendship ended due to betrayal or dishonesty, it can result in long-term trust issues. So on this particular situation that I've been going through, I'm not so sure if it's a trust issue or a betrayal but I can definitely say it's a disappointment. It's like maybe even dishonesty. When someone says they're going to do something and then they don't do it, yeah, that's not good. When you feel like you have been an amazing friend to them, but when it's their turn to like really step it up for you, it's like they're just not there. They're just not available. They're not emotionally available. Why are we even friends in the beginning, in the first place, if we're not something for each other? We got to be something for each other. And if it's been established what we are, then when that starts to change or end or not feel so good, you're going to have to hold each other accountable for that. One of the feelings that I know that I'm having a little bit of a trust issue at this point is I'm starting to become more guarded, more cynical, maybe even hard to form new connections, right? Because I'm just like, if I've lost my friends that I've had over 20 years, I'm okay with new friends. I used to be singing that song, No New Friends, but I'm at this point in my life, I am okay with new connections and new friends. Now, let's talk about the psychological effect that it might be having on you. Increased defensiveness and emotional detachment in future relationships. So I don't want to carry what I'm going through and make it hard for anyone else in the future to bond with me. So I'm very aware of that. That's why I've done the research and I've lived it and I've studied it and I've seen it. So I want you guys to be aware of that too. Don't be so defensive. You're not going to have any room for someone new to come in your life and love you and support you and be there for you emotionally, okay? Number 4, let's identify crisis and self-doubt. Best friends can often influence our sense of identity, especially when they've been in your life for over 20 years like mine. Losing them can cause you to question who you are without their presence. Tricky one. Impact. You may feel a loss of purpose or struggle with self-worth. Example, if you frequently share different types of activities and even inside jokes with your best friend, their absence can make your daily life feel a little bit unfamiliar, even to you, and even more empty. Remember that. Number 5, losing a best friend can make you feel disconnected. So let's talk about the social isolation and loneliness. And it can make you feel disconnected from social circles because maybe your friend was involved in that circle. Maybe you and your best friend belong to a certain type of group, right? And now the fragment of that breaking, that social group, maybe it's not attainable anymore. Effect, reduce social interactions, increase loneliness, and withdrawal. You might want to even withdraw from some of your social activities because the person that you're normally used to doing them with is no longer available. I know for myself, I'm not really so necessarily dealing with that, but on another level, yes, I am dealing with that. My bad, I am. Yeah, one of my friends belonged to one of our social groups, and that is feels strained, it's just not okay. Statistic: a study in +1 revealed that people who lost a close friendship were 25% more likely to experience social isolation over the next year. My goodness, you mean it's not going to just be over in a couple of months? I'm going to deal with this for a year, close to a year. Oh my goodness. Let's put our seatbelts on. Click, click. Let's click it in. We're in for a ride, you guys. Number 6, rumination and emotional replaying. So people often engage in repetitive thoughts, rumination, about what went wrong. I have definitely replayed it over and over again. I've read the text messages over and over again. Maybe that's it. And according to the statistic, that's a normal thing. It's called rumination. You kind of go and revisit. Like, what happened here again? Let me read it again. Oh, okay. So she had said this and then I had said that. Oh, and then he had said this and then I had said that. Or it's a phone call that you're replaying over in your mind. Or an action. You start to see the visions of what happened. What happened here, right? The effect of this, this can worsen anxiety and depression symptoms. It has. And like I said, if you guys are out there, you guys are not alone. Okay? Not alone. Why is it damaging? Well, replaying the friendship breakup prevents emotional healing. I can't heal because I keep on rewinding it and replaying it like a movie that I just keep on replaying that painful part. Get right there to that part that makes you cry. And you're playing it over and over and over again. I know I have so many times already. But replaying the emotional, the friendship breakup, it's going to prevent me from healing. It's going to prevent you from healing. So maybe we need to stop doing that, like right now. It's keeping us stuck in a cycle of self-blame or even resentment. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yep. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to be resentful to anyone else. And we're just going to move on in a more healthy way. Let's talk about some coping strategies, shall we? First of all, let's acknowledge the grief. It hurt. Treat the loss like any other major emotional event, okay? Get some help if you need some help. Maybe you could talk to a big sister. Maybe you could talk to another mutual friend. Talk to a therapist or confide in other trusted friends. You got options. Now, going forward, let's start setting some more healthier boundaries. I know I am for myself. If the fallout was painful, give yourself some space to heal. I have. Engage in self-care. Whenever things don't go right in the world outside around you, put that energy back into yourself, right? Take a bath. Take a quick vacation. Go do something that makes you feel good. Do a photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? Go take a nice ride to one of the places you've been putting off, waiting on your friend to go with you. Go do it alone if you have to. Another thing, rediscover some of the hobbies that you liked to begin with and some of the interests that bring you joy and go do them. I know I am. I'm ready for that vacation. I'm on vacation and I'm ready for a vacation. Shout out to my family in Cali. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. When I come here, I feel all the love. And my sisters are my friends. They're my best friends. My cousins too. Shout out to the real people that's going to stay, that ain't going to leave me. All right, here we got some quotes. Friendships are the foundation